So, what is the purpose of objectives?
All ISO standards have a requirement in Section 10 around continual improvement. Setting objectives really allows us to identify what we're aiming to improve and develop a plan of action on how we are going to achieve that.
Within that context of management systems, that is safety systems, quality systems or integrated management systems, the purpose of the objective is to establish a focus for the continual improvement or development of the management system. It's also a very effective way of engaging people within the organisation and providing them with a common sense of purpose. Importantly, objectives that don't have clearly established accountabilities and plans with them are found to be largely ineffective. Unfortunately, in too many management systems, that's the approach that's taken just to make the auditors happy.
The way that I look at objectives is that they create structure and clarity for the organisation and for individuals. So if either in the short term or long term goals, everybody needs a very, very clear picture of where they're going. And they also understand what they're going to be measured against. So whether it be at an organisational level or at a job functional level, everybody needs objectives. They want to know what they've got to do in the short term, what they've got to do in the long term, and what they're going to be measured against. So for me, it's a key tool around creating clarity and measurables for the organization or the individual. You know, one of the key culture drivers in an organization is where people know exactly what they've got to do and where they're going. Is if there's a very, very clear vision statement and steps along the road, it's key to creating a good culture in an organization.
An objective is set as a way for the company to guide where it's going to go. So we want to set some sort of pathway or road that we want to head down. Now those objectives can be set from market stuff, or it could be set from internal objectives or key goals that you want to sort of achieve. But primarily the places that I use objectives is when I'm setting up my policies. A good policy should look back at the objectives and ensure you've covered it and have put some guidance in there on how to achieve those objectives. Objective is a good tool to use when you are trying to make corporate decisions. So if a new business prospect is coming along or there is a new market opening up to you, you need to sometimes make a call on whether you should pursue that. And often objectives are a good way to measure that. And I also mention that it should be used by all parts of your team. So let's just say a senior manager isn't available and a critical decision has to be made. The members of the team should be able to go back to your objectives and see if it's a key thing that they need to try and target.
Alrighty, so I think the purpose of an objective is to, I guess, set a standard for what your company wants to achieve in a certain domain, be it quality, safety, environment, and different parts of those domains. My experience is that most companies set their objectives because the standard tells them to, but if they do it well, then they find that it does serve a purpose. So the honest truth is the purpose of them is so I can get my certification, but as we know, once you start doing things well, those systems actually start to improve the results of your company. So it's just basically to say, where do we want to be? And what do we want this particular part of our service to look like?
I would say one of the main purposes of objectives is to try and have an organisation going in the same direction. Try and have everyone in the organisation on the same target, the same line to try and achieve what the ultimate objective is for the business.
To all the partners who contributed today, thank you, and hopefully the audience is going to learn some new techniques, your observations, and maybe they can get some value from it and maybe change the way they're doing it. So thank you.